Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I am playing with this fun stamp set. It is called Rockstar Pets. It has a dog, a cat, a couple sentiments. I'm also playing with Glitter Glaze. You guys know I love me some Glitter Glaze. Now this is the new formulation. It's in a new jar too with a metal lid. And when you open it, it's got this kind of like protector thing on it so that it helps keep your glitter glaze wetter longer, because as you guys know, if you don't use mediums like this, they do dry up and you don't want that to happen. I am going to be scrapbooking this older photo. This is of my daughter Chloe with her doggie. It's from 2007, so we're going to make that happen. And look, Clark Color, I don't even think they're in business anymore. So this is the photo, and this is what I'm going to be using. Let's see what I can do. All right, guys, so I am going to start out by finding the center of my cardstock, and I'm just doing that by using my grid mat and a ruler. And then I am going to divide each of the upper area. So I divide the page in half, and then I divide the upper area in half, and I divide it in half again, and then I'm going to divide it in half again. And that's going to give me this sunburst that is equidistant. Like they all have the same angles, or mostly have the same angles. I'm not using a compass or anything like that. It's just kind of eyeball in the center. So that is what I am doing. Now I do go ahead and number these bad boys up, and what that is going to do is allow me to place them back in order, and I don't have to mess around and try to figure out which piece of the sunburst goes where, because that would stress me out. So I am grabbing another sheet of white cardstock, and I find the center, and then I'm going to go ahead and start by tracing and cutting out each of the sunburst pieces. So I am using the Watercolor Galaxy paper pad here, and I'm just trimming off the pieces so that they kind of match up. Now I do know I want to do a little bit of stamping as well, so I am just going to place these guys in place temporarily with just a tiny little bit of adhesive. And then I pull off the number 2, and what that is going to do is allow me to mask off the 1 and the 3 areas so that when I stamp over top of it, I'm not going to get the stamped on those areas. Now, I probably didn't even need to mask because I am covering it up anyway, but I wasn't sure exactly how I was going to be doing this at the time, so I wanted to make sure that the stamped images were only in the one section of the sunburst. So I'm going to do some repeats of this fun puppy dog with some headphones on that say, "You're a rock star." And then I'm going to go ahead and pull off those pieces, and I'm left behind with these cute little dogs. So now I'm going to cover up the stamped area because, you know, I don't want anything getting on top of that. And then I'm going to figure out my number 3 and my number 4. And now I'm going to add some glitter glaze. Now you guys know I love me some glitter glaze. I love the sparkle. I love the shine. I just love how it just elevates any kind of page, project, card, you name it, you got it. So I am using this Slimline stencil, and I'm grabbing the glitter glaze, and I'm just using a palette knife to scrape it on. And I'm just, you know, putting a nice even layer over it. I am going off the edge because I do have masked areas there, so you don't need to worry about getting it onto your areas that you don't want. So now I have that nice crisp clean line, and now I'm going to go ahead and cut out more pieces. I'm also going to glitter glaze over top of my cutout pieces with that Watercolor Galaxy paper pad. So I have this pink piece, and then I grab the fuchsia glitter glaze, and I'm just going to cover it with my palette knife. and then pull it off and let that dry off to the side. I'm going to just go ahead and keep on doing that, finding great colors in the Watercolor Galaxy paper pad, using my various Brutus Monroe stencils and glitter glazes, and just going to go ahead and wrap that up. Like, I just love it, you guys. I mean, it's gorgeous, right? The sparkle is gorgeous. Now, the reason why I am mixing the glitter glaze with the stamping is because this is a photo of my daughter Chloe when she was much younger with her Doggie. So Doggie is the lady from Lady and the Tramp, but I thought, you know what, this dog is cute enough that I don't mind using him on the layout. So I'm just trying to figure out like how to get a little bit more of the dog and a little bit more of the You're a Rockstar onto the layout here. And then as you can see, I didn't mask off that one edge because I knew I was going to be covering it up. Like, I knew that glitter glaze was not going to go right there, so I went ahead and did that. So again, I'm grabbing another stencil, I am grabbing some more glitter glaze and just placing it down. Now guys, I did cut this part out, but please know that my stencils were rinsed off almost right away, because you can get dried up glitter glaze off of your stencils. That is completely like an option, but it is easier to clean off your stencils immediately while your glitter glaze is still wet, so you don't have to worry about scraping it off. So now I'm just going to keep on figuring out what I'm doing over here. So now I'm going to lay down my stencil so that I have it in a way that's going to cover up the most real estate. So I know that my photo is going to cover up the join, like it's going to cover up that point in the center of the cardstock here. So I know I don't have to go all the way down to the edge, so I'm not stressing too much about it. Now this is a wider opening stencil, so it's going to be a little bit thicker. And then I just decided to add a little bit down there just in case that little bit ended up being not covered up by my photo. So now I'm like, okay, now I need to find another color. Which color am I going to use? I go with the pink, and then I'm going to add another stencil and some more glitter glaze. And oh my goodness, look at that. Seriously, you guys, if you have never played with glitter glaze in your life, you need to make that happen. Now, not only is glitter glaze amazing and fun, but the new formula is even better than the last rendition of it. So the new formula is in these plastic jars with a metal lid on top, and it kind of has this almost plasticky kind of seal thing that goes on top of it, and it's just, it's gorgeous. It spreads so nicely, it spreads cleanly and evenly, and you don't have to worry about that whatsoever. So those things dried off, and I went ahead and placed them down. And then now you can see where I'm going to go ahead and place my photo. So I did trim my photo down a little bit, and that is so I can use a 6x6 paper pad as a photo mat. Because if you have a 4x6 photo and a 6-inch wide paper, it's going to cover each other up, guys. I did grab this holographic washi tape. Now, I did get this from the Brutus Monroe store, but it's been a little while, so I'm not exactly sure if it's still there. But I just wanted to cover up the join between all of my fun sparkly and puppy goodness and the white cardstock on the bottom. So ultimately, I decided to go ahead and place the photo over here on the right-hand side. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp out the puppy dog a couple more times. So I am doing this to kind of use it as an embellishment. Now there is a cat on here as well, but honestly, you guys, I'm not a cat person. I'm allergic to them, so it's hard for me to be a cat person anyway, plus cats are jerks. Sorry if I offended anybody, but they are. So now I'm just going to go ahead and use my Raven detail ink and go ahead and stamp out 2 of these puppies. I am going to go ahead and cut them out. So I am using a combination of scissors and a straight blade here. And what that's going to do is allow me to cut out these things a little bit easier. As you can see, I still ripped the headphones, but that is okay. I grab my Chroma Mists in blue and purple. I know those aren't the official color names, but I can't remember what they are off the top of my head. And I'm just using a little paintbrush to go ahead and paint them in. Now I'm only going to paint in the headphones right here. I did cut the dog off of it. And that is because I'm going to use these as kind of like a collage and pop it up on foam and place it over top of the dog. So I'm kind of making my own embellishment here. Now, I love the Chroma Mists. They go great onto paper. They can mix with each other. You can mix new colors. You can water them down with water. So you don't have to just straight color with them. They're great for misting, all kinds of fun things to do with them. So now I'm just finishing this up. Doesn't take too long to do this. And honestly, you guys, it doesn't take that long to dry either. It dries pretty quick. So I'm going to now cut out the other dog, and then I'm going to pop up all the little pieces with some foam squares. Now I do cut my foam squares down even thinner because of that super thin headphone kind of arch that's over there. I don't know, what is that headphone piece called? I could not tell you. The headphone arch works for me. I did choose blue and purple because of the colors that I have going on the upper part of the layout with all the shining, shimmering, splendid goodness. And now I'm just going to use some scissors. Like I said, I trimmed down those foam squares so that you would not see them popping out from underneath of it. And now I'm just going to go ahead and stick that over top of the dog as well. And then, you know, I ripped the little headphone thing again, but that's okay. Like, it's fine. It's fine. So now I've got my puppy, and I am going to go ahead and put the puppy right here next to Chloe. I kind of tuck him in a little bit, and I'm like, do I want to tuck him in? Do I want him on top? How do I want him? So I figure out how I want him, and I go ahead and stick him down. And then I am looking for a sentiment, and then I'm like, do I want to put that over here? What do I want to do? I'm just kind of like, what am I doing now? So I decided to pull out my favorite alphabet stamp sets ever. I don't know what it is about these stamp sets, but I just love them. It's probably because it gives me the outline and the fill, and it's lowercase and uppercase, so it makes me ridiculously happy. Now, I decided that I probably did not have an ink color, a stamping ink color that was going to match any of these things exactly. So I went ahead and put some of the Chroma Mists down on a piece of packaging, and then I'm going to go ahead and stamp with my stamp. Now, that might seem a little bit funky, and it is a little messy. It has kind of that artistic flair, which means it's not going to stamp perfectly. So if you want it to stamp perfectly, probably not the route to go, people. But I love the way that it comes up. Like, I just love it. And then I do grab an individual one and stamp it a little bit more so you can see it just a little bit more clearly. And now I'm going to go ahead and get the outline as well. And then I'm going to use my Raven detail ink to go ahead and stamp around each individual letter. And that's going to contain it a little bit more. Since it does have kind of that artistic flair going on because of the Chroma Mists, I just decided that, like, this needed to happen. It needed to be outlined. Now, I didn't want to waste the Chroma Mist that was on my packaging, so I just decided to add a little bit more of that purple color. And then I went ahead and just hand wrote Doggie and Chloe, because that's what she calls Doggie. I just went ahead and put my packaging down, touched it to my cardstock so that I could get that fun splattery effect. I write a line of journaling, and then you guys, that is going to do it for this layout. Look at that. Look at that. I love that glitter. All right, if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again real soon for another video.